It is important to understand that poets and writers who are into literature, any language, you can say English literature or Urdu literature or German literature, any literature, and they are not only here in this literature just because of the language they like. It is not like English literature writers are here only into the literature just because they love playing with the words, they love playing with the language. There are several reasons why people pick writing, start writing books, start writing essays, so on and so forth. Just like I started my career in English literature not only because I love reading books or I wanted particularly to write in English language, but because literature gives me an opportunity to understand my purpose behind my life. I read the works of other writers in order to understand the philosophical explanation of why we are here on this earth, for what reasons we are living here, and what we are doing on earth. Okay, so after spending a lot of time in reading books, what I found is that my purpose of life is to inspire the people or to help the people understand the importance of education. Yes, the meaning of life differs from person to person. We create meanings and we give purpose to it, and for me it is the importance of education, and that is what I am trying to do in all my videos, to inspire the students, to inspire the viewers who are subscribed to this channel, because it is only through education and self-realization we can understand ourselves and become more disciplined in life. Same way, we have other people who pick art not because they love literature, they love painting, they love language, not only because this is not the only reason. Another reason can be they want to invent something, they want to share their own ideas, share their experiments, and one among all of these people was Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yes, Ralph Waldo Emerson was sort of a revolutionary person, and he picked English language out of necessity to help the people to discover a new language for the religion. He was fed up with the words like Jesus, God, angels, salvation, redemption. He was fed up by these words. So he tried to give a new language to the religion. He tried to give new language to the religion. And that is what he called it. He didn't call it Transcendentalism, but others people called this new language used by Ralph Waldo Emerson Transcendentalism. His first book, Nature, is something like a declaration of new religion, a new kind of spiritual philosophy. And in many ways, he was inspired by Indian and Chinese philosophy, Chinese Indian scriptures, or you can say German philosophers. He was inspired by St. Coleridge, and he implemented all those thoughts said by Indian scriptures, Chinese scriptures, German philosopher, St. Coleridge. He used all those thoughts and gave a new direction to the religion. Yes, Emerson was not saying that Transcendentalism is something new. Transcendentalism is something, you can say that a new way to explain the same ideas which were there in Indian scriptures, or you can say Chinese scriptures, or you can say German philosophies, or the words said by St. Coleridge. So in the later part of this video, we are going to discuss who were the Transcendentalists and what all are the poets who were associated with this literary movement. But before we continue our discussion on Transcendentalism, if you are one of those students who are preparing for UGC NET examination or GATE examination in English literature, then you can simply check out our study material on both paper 1 and paper 2 from our official website limitlessliterature.com. You can check the link in the description below to know more about our study material. Now, without any further delay, let's continue our discussion on American Transcendentalism. First, let's quickly look at the list of the poets or the philosophers who were associated with this particular literary movement, which includes Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, Margaret Fuller, and Amos Bronson Alcott. Although there were many poets who were associated with this literary movement, but they were not so famous and they are not so important from UGC NET perspective. So we are only going to restrict ourselves to these few writers. Alright, another thing I want to share with you is that do not forget the magazine that was published by Ralph Waldo Emerson and Margaret Fuller. The name of the magazine was The Dial. This magazine also focuses on the spiritual writings contributed by major and minor poets who were associated with Transcendentalism, and the themes were, you can say, all about spirituality, self-realization, truth, or you can say self-reliance, so on and so forth. So according to Ralph Waldo Emerson, religion is not something that you start visiting to temples, churches, masjid. Religion is not theoretical, but it must be experienced. For him, the real meaning of religion is mysticism. Yes, Mysticism is something when you experiencing yourself, when you spend time in doing meditation or spend time in solitude in the canopy of nature, you start realizing, you start observing a lot of things that not even the holy scriptures, not only the holy books or not even the holy places can help you do that. You see, these experiences cannot be explained in these videos. These experiences can only be done through experimenting religion, by spending time in solitude, by spending time with yourself and going into meditation, and then realizing not only about the God. It is not about thinking about God, that someone is sitting in the heaven and looking towards us. This is not religion. The real religion is self-realization, according to Transcendentalism and Indian philosophies and Chinese philosophies also. This is new religion, you can say, the same way. But Lord Buddha has also said that Lord Buddha never believed in that there is some God sitting there in the heaven. So we say that this is the only religion. The Buddhism is the only religion which denies the existence of God, and Buddhism is only the religion which focuses on the self, which focuses on the soul, and helps man to understand what is the real truth about the existence. So you can say Transcendentalism is somewhat associated with mysticism. Alright, and Ralph Waldo Emerson also published an essay on self-reliance, which we can also relate, like self-reliance is Atmanirbhar. Yes, we can see that Atmanirbhar Bharat is the title which PM Modi has circulated around the India. This simply means that we are only the responsible for our own actions. So self-reliance or Atmanirbhar means to take full responsibility of life without giving blames to people, without blaming others, without blaming countries, without blaming anyone. So your life is in your hand. You should take the responsibility of your life. That is what self-reliance, the essay published by Ralph Waldo Emerson, has talked about. But the sad truth is that Ralph Waldo Emerson was also not able to continue his own, you can say, the mysticism life that he always wanted to pursue, because he too has been through a lot of struggles in his life, and because he lost his wife, he lost his brother, and his 5-year-old son was also died. So throughout his life he remained in sadness. He wanted to pursue this mystic life, he wanted to pursue this life of spirituality, but he was not able to do so just because of the tragedies, the human dark experiences of life. He was not able to pursue his longings, earnings for spirituality. He talked about all these tragedies, or you can say dark experiences of human life, in his essay Experience, where he talks about how these experiences stops a man's spiritual growth. Also, there are other works that are worth mentioning and which are from associated with these group of poets, with a group of philosophers. Let's begin with the works which are important from UGC net perspective. First of all is Ralph Waldo Emerson's essays, The Oversoul, Self-Reliance, The American Scholar, and Divinity School Address. And then we have Henry David Thoreau's Walden and Civil Disobedience. At last we have Margaret Fuller's work, Woman in the 19th Century. You don't have to go to the details of all these works which I have just mentioned in the slide. Simply write down some notes, some points from Wikipedia, or you can refer the study material we are providing to the students. Simply write down some notes on these important works, and remember the titles and the authors associated with these works. Alright, so this is what all I have to share in this video. I hope you found the video worth your time. If you're new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe the channel for more updates on English literature. That's it for this video. Thank you.